Hey guys, one of the things that is synonymous with New Year in Japan are these relay marathons that take place in and around Tokyo Prefecture. So there's one on the 1st of January that seems to be heavily company sponsored and is sort of an open event, mainly for dudes it would seem. And then there's this one on the 2nd of January that is a university team competition. So it's like 14 or 15 universities that take place and run this relay marathon. And like most things like this in Japan, it's over the top. It's really, they take it really, really seriously. And usually at this time of year, anywhere you go where there might be a television, this will be on the TV. So if you go to a restaurant or a bar or somebody's home, in this case we're at somebody's home on the 2nd of January, and this is on TV. And it seems to be on TV all day because it's a relay marathon. It's pretty long. And then there's a whole heap of stuff that goes on before it, getting excited about it. It's about to start. And then it goes on and on after it's finished as well. So it's sort of this all-day event. Every time you look at a TV on the 1st or 2nd of January, you'll be looking at this scene. So they run out of things to talk about. And at that time, they were actually talking about the policemen and the police bikes. Because over the period of a few hours, the commentators who never stopped talking sort of run out of stuff to talk about. So they started to rave on about the police motorbikes. But yeah, it's sort of, it's a marathon relay, and it's university students. But it's just over the top. They've been having it for 50 or 60 years, apparently. And every year it's got bigger, and they just take it so seriously. It's on the TV all day, and people really watch it and get all excited about it, and the commentators go on and on. As you can see, people line the roads, and just, I don't know, just over the top, just typical Japanese over the top stuff. Those guys in the vans at the back with the speakers on the roof drive along, encouraging them constantly. Oh yeah, watch this, watch this. Whenever they do a change, the guy who's just stopped running walks over to the collapsing area. So he wanders over there and then he collapses, and then the guys with the towels run over and cover them with a towel, and see, they've got to show that they're absolutely spent. No doubt. I mean, they've just run however long they've just run. So no doubt they're pretty worn out, but they all make it over to the collapsing area, right? So he'll go over to the collapsing area, then he collapses. And they run over with a towel. Apparently the towel's really important. It's just funny because they all do it. There's not one guy that sort of saunters in and goes, that was hard work. They all wander over to the collapsing area and collapse, totally spent. Nothing left. Come over here. You're not in the collapsing area. So, it's great. It's a healthy thing, obviously. We know people who run marathons. It's a really healthy thing to do. But it's just over the top. When you've experienced marathons in other countries, there's the winner, the winning team. When you've experienced marathons in other countries, just the drama. And everybody does the same thing. So every dude runs across the line and he gets embraced with a towel, and it's all the same and all over the top, really unnecessary. Every dude has a van with speakers on the roof driving along behind him, and it's all so emotional. And, compared to a marathon in another country, it's just over the top, which is typical. Typical. We've showed you lots of examples of that before. High school boys' baseball's the same. Lots of crying goes on, lots of emotion. And huge audiences, as you can see. I mean, there's huge audiences watching on TV, but you've got these huge audiences along the sides of the roads as well, cheering them on. Oh, I don't know. When you've seen it every year you see the same thing, and every dude that crosses the line does exactly the same thing. See, they still manage to push the button on their watch, then they collapse, right? They push the stop button on their stopwatch on their wrist, and then they collapse. It's all very controlled. And then okay, the race is over, right? So now they have to interview each member of the team that won, each member of the team that came second, each member of the team that came third, plus all their coaches. And of course they all say the same thing. Oh yes, ganbarimashita. We all tried really hard, and it was really long race, and we tried really hard, and we're really happy that we won, and very proud and all the same stuff. And they all say the same things, of course. So now what we're looking at is highlights. So finally the race was over, right? The guys won, everybody's finished, including the last team was in. It was all over. So now the commentators did replays and highlights of the race for the next hour, right? So they're sitting in the studio watching the replay. And remember when, Team 4 overtook Team 3? And yes, that was an exciting moment, wasn't it? That was exciting when he overtook the other guy. And we think it was because he was running faster than the other guy. As you can see, because he's running faster, he managed to overtake the other guy, right? That sort of stuff. And you go, yeah, we know. Can we watch something else? And then at the change, you'll see at the change, this guy, he ran away quicker because he was first, and then the other two, side by side. Yes, that was an exciting moment too. See the guy down in the corner of the screen? He's commenting. He's saying, yes, that was an exciting change over there. And then they had to run up the big hill. That's right. Marathons are great, and then finally they finished, and then we got this. This is high school soccer, and again over the top. They treat it like it's World Cup, right? And it's high school boys playing soccer, and of course the marathon and the soccer is only boys because we wouldn't be watching females play sport, would we? They're still back in the 60s or whenever it was. So you got these high school boys taking their soccer extremely seriously. Like they're getting ready for the Olympics, all the sports in Japan are like that. The high school club sports that the kids are involved in. So here's the boys up in the stand, the supporters, right, from the school. They're up in the stand. I see they're all boys as well. So they're sitting up there cheering and yay. And then in another set of seats behind them is the girls from the school cheering and stuff. So it is really sexist. It's really male dominated. So you don't see a heck of a lot of female sport on Japanese TV, except at the Olympics when you get female Japanese competitors doing reasonably well, then they get to be on TV. But usually it's male dominated. All the little princes that we've talked about before. So there's you got two schools there right up in the stands. But keep in mind, this is being broadcast live on TV, right? And everybody's watching it. And the people at the house we were at were all watching it as well. Don't know what these dudes are reading. The volume was turned down on the TV, so I got no idea whether they're studying because they've got university entrance tests coming up or what that was about. But they're all sitting there looking at a book. Don't know what that was about. This was like half time or something, so that's why they're not cheering. Oh no, here we go. He's woken them up. Yay, fisting. Let's fist. That's an in joke. So only some of you guys will get that joke. Oh yeah, so the game's over, right? And so same as the high school boys basketball, everybody cries. So the team that wins cries because they're so happy and exhausted, and they've given it their all, and they're crying because they're happy, right? And the team that lost is crying because they gave their all and they lost, right? So everyone cries. Oh look, there's some ladies. Finally got to see some ladies up in the stand. So yeah, you might detect a note of skepticism or something, but it's just because we see exactly the same thing every year. See the dude crying, he's just beside himself. We see this every year. And the high school boys baseball's the same. So there's the coach giving his speech. And anyway, it went on, but that's as much as I could take. Anyway, that was it. More videos coming soon.